Good morning, everyone. James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me. I am here at home, relaxing, having myself a cup of joe. And I figure I would make a video on the current situation. Now, we all know what the current situation is. I'm not going to say it because Big Brother's listening. But you know what it is. And with the media selling a lot of fear-mongering, and with a lot of know-it-all loudmouths on social media that don't know what they're talking about are spreading misinformation, it all accumulates to this sense of anxiety and panic amongst regular folks. Now, I'm talking about most regular folks who aren't preppers and they're not used to these types of things. So all of a sudden they're confused on what supplies to get, what to do, that kind of stuff. And hopefully this video can give you a couple of tips to help you out. Now, before we begin, I'm just going to tell you guys, I'm not trying to sell myself as some complete expert know-it-all that's been doing this for 20 years. I live in the city. I live blocks away from my city university, so in many ways I'm on the same boat. But if I can give you guys a couple of tips from from the years that I've been doing of survival skills and self-reliance and basic prepping, then I think it can help out some people. Very basic tips. So if you're some seasoned veteran and you're in your off-grid cabin with years worth of supplies, this video might not be very helpful to you. But this is going to be for the regular Joes. So I'm going to give you 5 tips that can help you out, hopefully, when it comes to buying certain supplies, what to focus on, and what you can do when you're home as well. So thank you for joining me. This is going to be a calm video. We're not here for fear-mongering. We're not here trying to go viral, telling you it's the end of the world and get your AR. Just a couple basic steps, and keep a cool head. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with tip number 5, and that's going to be water. Now that's Captain Obvious, right? Water's an essential even in any moment, not just emergencies. However, I do want to address it because I do see a lot of confusion. I see a lot of people that are bombarding stores and buying a ton of bottled water, and then other people don't have water because everybody else bought them and they're freaking out. Now, first things first, as of right now, our utilities are running just fine. So we have water coming out of the faucet. Now, I agree that water is disgusting. I haven't drank that stuff in years. What I always recommend to people are these right here. 5-gallon jugs. These jugs, a lot of people get cheap on them because, you do spend a good $15, $20 at first to get one. But then after that, they're refillable. And guys, they really pay for themselves quickly. I mean, 5 gallons, you go to one of those water dispensary places that you see on the side of gas stations and pharmacies. You fill this up, purified water, 5 gallons. The plastic's much tougher, much longer lasting than rinky-dink gallons of water. And you're only paying $1, $1.25 to fill one up. That's change you already have in your vehicle. And you're more resourceful. You should always have some kind of spare water at home just in case of emergencies. So I always recommend that. Now, if you go to a convenience store right now, say you're running errands and it's hot and you stop at a gas station and you go to buy a water, you're going to spend $2, $3 sometimes on a little water bottle this big. And that to me, that's just a chump move, and it's, not very resourceful. You're just throwing more plastic into the earth. So once again, get yourself one of these. Get yourself some kind of refillable water container that you can carry throughout your day, and you're wasting less plastic, and you're saving money. I mean, that's a win-win for me. Sorry, a little bit of a side rant there, but definitely recommend these. I live alone, and I have 3 of these. That's 15 gallons of water, clean water accumulated. That'll last me weeks. So I always recommend these. Now, 2 more items that I would suggest you have either at home or an emergency bag, bug-out bag, that kind of stuff is, 1, a water filter. For those of you who don't know, a water filter can be purchased at any sporting goods place, Walmart, online. And what a water filter does is, in case you ever do need to get water from a wild water source, such as a puddle, a stream, or river, this helps filter that water so it's drinkable. Helps filter out all the nasties. Now, they're not 100% accurate, so I don't fully trust them. I do know of one person who used these during a kayaking trip, and they still managed to get Giardia. So, about 99% of the time they'll take care of it, but there's always that chance. But you can play it safe and boil water, so it's 100%, safe. But at the same time, we are warming up in temperatures, and that means that water is going to be hot. You're going to have to wait for it to cool down, and that's just a pain. So this definitely has its place. And there's many different brands. You do your homework, but just something simple just to have in your pack or at home. And the next item I do want to demonstrate is called the Silcock key, or a water key. This one right here. And you can go to a building, the side of a pharmacy store or something, and on the sides you'll see a little latch, like a compartment, and you can access this. You can open it up with this, and there's a little lever that once again you use this, and you gain water from it. So you're getting water from a building. That can be viewed as stealing, so be cautious. But when it comes to urban survival, you're going to do what you got to do to get yourself water for you and your loved ones. So this is definitely something you want to keep around for emergencies. Okay, guys, so tip number 2 on what we should stockpile. I think we should have medicine to help with your immune system, and also things to help boost your immune system. So, still being winter time, there's a chance that you might catch something, might catch a bug, a cold, whatever it is. And also, spring is on its way, meaning that you might be getting allergies pretty soon. So I would suggest things that are going to make things more manageable if you do catch something. So, ibuprofen, Sudafed, NyQuil. These are just things that I had already here at my house, and they make things, once again, if you're going to be miserable for a few days, sick, these things are going to help you out. Now, going with the subject of boosting your immune system, if you have a multivitamin, even better, take that. Change it up. If you have 2 cups of coffee in the morning, how about just 1 cup of coffee and buy orange juice? Orange juice has vitamin C, so you're starting the day off helping your body. Snack on apples, things like that. If you live in an area that has a lot of pine, and it's a pine that's safe, you can make pine needle tea, and pine needle tea is so relaxing, and it's just so full of vitamin C. So say you start the day off with orange juice, and then you take a multivitamin. Then at the end of the night, you take tea to relax, and once again, it has a ton of vitamin C. These things are really going to help boost your immune system to fight off whatever intruders may come at you. So also, get better sleep. Focus on yourself. Focus on your body, because you want your body to be in tip-top shape for you and your loved ones. So medicines, whatever medicine you may need, have it ready, because you kind of want to just stay home for the time being. So just have that covered. Okay, so item number 3 that you should have, I think, is a lot of sanitation products. And I'm talking about, it could be cleaning agents like bleach and stuff like that to help clean the house. This is a great time for spring cleaning. You want to keep your house as clean as possible, keep the germs as low as possible. So once again, cleaning products to help clean up. Not only that, but hygiene as well. So you want to keep things like, stock up a little bit. You don't have to get a ton of it, but like, say, an extra toothpaste, soap, shampoo, things that are not only cleaning items for your home, but cleaning items for yourself as well, because we have germs, guys, and say we all can agree on this. If you're a camper, if you have spent several days outdoors, you have a great time, of course. But at the same time, you cannot wait to get home and shower and wear clean clothes again, because you've been wearing clothes that's, you've been sweating in, and, wood smoke and that kind of stuff. So one, that helps you with keep the germs down, but at the same time, it also raises morale. You feel better. There is a difference, if you wake up and you brush your teeth and wash your face, all that stuff, you're wearing clean clothes, clean socks, you're gonna feel much better. So not only should you have cleaning items for your home, but also make sure you're stocked up on things that you're going to need for yourself, personal use. So cleaning items and hygiene items as well. Okay, and now tip number 3, if you have it. You see this thing right here? This is Kali. She is the closest thing I have to a daughter. I adore this little creature. And, they're gonna go through it too. So if you have pets, make sure that you're buying extra stuff for them. You make sure you're buying them food and buying them treats, that kind of stuff. If it's stressful for you, it's gonna end up being stressful for them as well. If you didn't prepare and you're not getting them what they need, they're gonna be hungry, that kind of stuff. So having 3 cats, I'm going to be running through food pretty quickly. So I got this large bag, and it is $40, so it is pretty pricey, but at least I know that for the next couple weeks, they're going to have their food. Kali, out of the way. And then, of course, you want cat litter because, you want to keep, once again, you want to keep germs as much as possible, keep them down. So I want that cat litter replaced constantly, but at the same time, it's also to keep them comfortable as well. And this thing, she's still looking for treats. But I don't have any more. And that's about it for the things you're going to be buying if you're just going to be basically self-quarantine at home. I know I'm going to get the question about food. I don't really think food's a big issue if the stores are open. You're going to be able to go get some. But in case you do want to keep yourself at home, then get things that are going to last a long time. They're going to have a long shelf life, like rice and beans. Peanut butter lasts forever and it's full of nutrients. Now, I myself personally, I don't really like peanut butter, but I'm I always buy it because I know of that. Also, it's good for bait if you're going to be trapping things like squirrels. What else? Obviously, everyone's going to talk about ramen and Spam and stuff like that. Me personally, I think potatoes get overlooked a lot. Potatoes are delicious. I love potatoes. You can do so many things with them. They're so versatile and they're hearty. They'll last a while. So that's definitely something I think you should get is potatoes. Also spices. In case you're low on spices, guys, spices make a world of difference, especially if you're going to be eating the same thing for several days, say on a bug out situation, whatever situation. Spices really add flavor, which brings enjoyment and raises morale. Keep in mind, you want to keep yourself, keep your morale up, keep your family's morale up. And it really helps you out, experiment in the kitchen, be a better cook. So potatoes and spices, I'd say. Everything else, there's a million videos on that, so I'm not going to delve too deep on that. Okay, and now the last tip. And the last tip does not involve stores. It doesn't involve items or whatever you're going to buy. This involves what you're going to do when you're home. Now, so say that you're not working right now. Your work closed down and stuff like that, and you're just hanging out at home, whether you're by yourself, I live alone, or you're with your family. And you might wonder, what are you going to do with all that free time? You're not going out to bars to hang out with friends. You're not going on vacation, stuff like that. I think this is a great time to work on yourself. There's always a silver lining to things, even bad things. And I mean, if you're going to be spending a lot of time at home, I think it's a great time to work on something for yourself. We all have something that we needed to do at home, whether you've been putting off laundry or it's something more serious, something a little bit bigger. For example, for me, I've been working on a comic book for years, and this comic book is about the female character in our Operation Survival movie. I wrote the plot, I wrote the story, the script, and I'm really excited for how it connects to that story, and at the same time, like just the themes and stuff. I'm a storyteller, and in theory, I love it, but in practice, I have a hard time sitting down for a long time. Whenever I have free time, I'm like a dog. I want to run out that door and go to the mountains and fishing and hunt and cook food over a campfire. So I'm very seldom at home, and which is great. But at the same time, I neglect other things, So here is the Operation Survival comic that I've been meaning to work on, and I haven't touched it in months, and I think it's a good story to tell, and I need to work on it. So that's something I need to work on, that I can afford to, hey, calm down, stay home, and just work on it. Another thing is, a few weeks ago, if you remember, we reviewed the Green River knife, and we butchered a rabbit and cooked it, and I said in that video that I wanted to save the hide so I can start learning how to preserve hides, how to, tanning and stuff like that to make clothes or mittens and stuff. And here's my hide right now. It is hardened up like a board. So apparently I did something right because it's not rotting, but I didn't do it correctly because this thing is hard. So it's just been sitting there because I keep leaving home and I keep going fishing and stuff when I should finish this job. So this is something that I need to work on as well. And being home is going to provide me a lot more of that time. Free time to work on myself, work on my skills that I want to learn. I've been saying for years that I want to make a garden in my yard, a garden and grow simple things, tomatoes or jalapenos, whatever. That way it can supplement my diet where I'm not dependent on, 100%, the grocery store. But I keep putting it off because I want to go catch something and cook it, and I think this is a good time. It's, spring is around the corner. So it would be a good time for me to learn that. And, I don't know. I think that'd be really cool. And I think I've been putting it off for too long. And, yeah, we all have something. Or if you don't have anything, pick up a hobby. Especially if you have a family. If it's several members in your household, guys, we are social animals, and we need to reinforce our bonds. So something that you could do with your kids, something you can teach them a card game, cook together, something like that, where they can learn something out of it, and at the same time they're making memories, and it brings comfort that, you're all together, and once again, it's a wake-up call. We live in a world where kids are at school and I'm at work and this and that, and everybody's on their phone, and we forget that we are social animals, and we do need to bond, and I think that's important that we overlook. All right, folks, so that's about the conclusion of this video. Once again, it wasn't planned, so apologies if the camera angles weren't as cool or as dramatic or adventurous as our usual video. And I hope I didn't ramble too much, but I hope you learned something. I hope this helps you out. And let me know down below if you have any more tips or anybody has anything, any questions. I'd be happy to help you out during these times. I'll provide whatever expertise or opinion I can provide you with. And I think this is a great time for us to realize that, we are very spoiled in the Western world, and we have this idea that stores are always going to be there and money can buy anything, but it cannot. Money can fail you. The government can fail you. Once again, this isn't meant to be some kind of fear-mongering. No, but it is a good time for us to realize that we should take a look into having a couple of weeks worth extra supplies, and being a little bit more self-sufficient, because we have become lapdogs when we are truly wolves. We have been taught that money does this and get a job and this and that. But we're not taught, how to be a little bit more self-reliant, and we need to learn that because society isn't going to teach us that. They're not profiting from that. So we have to take it upon ourselves, and once we learn, teach it to others, teach it to our children, our friends, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be done with that rant right there, but hopefully you guys know what I mean. So yeah, I think it's going to be all right. We're all going to be all right, but it's a good exercise for us to plan for whatever eventual situation may happen. And this will help us be a little bit more prepared. So that's it. That's it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. This is James from Junkyard Fox, and we'll have a new video up pretty soon. So stay safe.